the planet Mars. Mars is smaller than Earth and has a very thin atmosphere. Unable to trap heat, it's freezing cold. But despite its small size and low temperature, Mars is the planet most similar to Earth. Mars is home to some of the most incredible natural features in the solar system, such as the giant volcano Olympus Mons. Olympus Mons, or Mount Olympus, is the highest known mountain on any planet. An extinct volcano, it covers an area almost as big as Germany and is 24 kilometers high, almost 3 times taller than Mount Everest. Another natural wonder is the series of majestic valleys known as the Valles Marineris, the Mariner Valleys. Truly gigantic rifts that snake their way through the Martian surface. They are 7 kilometers deep and 4,000 kilometers long. On Earth, they would stretch from Spain to Finland. Rocks in these valleys are layered on top of each other. Over the course of millions of years, many rock layers have formed. This is a chronicle of Mars's history. Looking at each rock layer, we can determine the climate at the time that it was created and work out how the environment has changed over the years. What secrets does this archive of nature hold? It will be the mission of future astronauts to investigate. Mars is not the most hospitable of places. It is extremely cold. At night, the temperature falls below -100 degrees Celsius. Come morning, frost covers the landscape, but it is not frozen water. Instead, the air itself has frozen. This frost is dry ice, frozen carbon dioxide of the atmosphere. The air is very thin and contains only traces of oxygen. Astronauts would need to wear spacesuits to give them warmth, pressure, and breathable air. But despite the bulk of a spacesuit, the low gravity on Mars makes wearing it a breeze. Objects on Mars only weigh a third of what they would on Earth. A 70-kilogram astronaut on Earth would weigh just 26 kilograms on Mars. One of the biggest challenges on Mars is dealing with Martian dust. The tiny particles can find their way through any opening and stick to spacesuits and equipment. Whirlwinds whip the dust high into the air, turning the Martian sky to a shade of auburn. Sandstorms occur every year, darkening the sky for days. Astronauts on the way back to their base would be blind, having to rely completely on their navigation systems. But Mars wasn't always like this. Near the Valles Marineris, many valleys clearly show signs that liquid water once flowed through the region. Liquid water is a requirement for the development of life as we know it. Flashback to 2012. The Mars rover Curiosity investigates an ancient lake bed. It extracts a rock sample with a drill. With this sample, we can learn about the conditions on Mars long ago. The analysis showed that there was once liquid water, and chemical conditions were just right for simple life forms. Dissolved substances in the water provided nutrients for microbes. The conclusion was that Mars was once habitable. "4 billion years ago, Mars was very similar to Earth. But did life flourish? We are searching for it in the deepest and oldest layers of rock. Will we find traces of ancient life on Mars? And is it possible that there is still life on Mars today? For this, liquid water would be crucial. But water in its liquid form is rare on Mars and only exists for a short time. Mars contains a small amount of ice deep below its surface. This ice can melt in the midday sun, and on the rims of craters a small amount of water can emerge, just enough to moisten the ground. But it doesn't stay in liquid form for long. Because of the low air pressure on the planet, the water quickly evaporates. Today there is no chance for life on the surface of Mars. It could only be possible deep beneath the ground in well-protected places. What will we find? Right now, we can only speculate. We may only know for sure whether life once existed on Mars when astronauts go there to explore. The sun is setting. A day on Mars is 24.5 hours long, only slightly longer than on Earth. The evening sky reveals something special, something we can never see from our world. A bluish, glinting evening star, and alongside it, a small companion. They are the Earth and its moon, seen from 70 million kilometers away. Whatever we find on Mars, it could change how we view the Earth and how we view ourselves. If we were to find life on Mars, any similarities to life on Earth could assist the quest to study our own origins. Our next travel destinations could also provide us with some answers. Comets are flying icebergs with a dark crust of dust and rock above a core of ice. Comets are messengers from the past. Even today, they contain the same substances that formed the planets billions of years ago. The sun may evaporate some of the ice, but the inner core never melts. Comets are the deep freezers of the solar system. These freezers preserve traces of our origins. That's what we're looking for. The elements that formed Earth and the basic elements of life. This comet is just 4 kilometers across. Like all objects, it has its own gravitational pull, but it is weak. Almost too weak for us to feel it. A 70-kilogram astronaut would weigh just 1 gram here. Even a tiny push would be enough to float away. Flashback to 2014. The first landing on a comet is about to happen. The mothership, Rosetta, decouples its lander, Philae. But something went wrong when landing on the comet's surface. Philae hit it too hard and bounced back off, several hundred meters up. It took the weak gravitational pull of the comet more than an hour to bring Philae back to its surface, this time into an unfortunate position, into a dark crack in the ice. But nevertheless, most of Philae's measurements were successful. They showed that there are many elements here that are important for life on Earth. Did Earth acquire this chemistry from ancient comets that landed here millions of years ago? Perhaps most interesting is the original material that has existed, unaltered, inside the comet. It is not easy to reach this material inside, but the comet itself can help. When the interior of a comet becomes accessible, answers to the origin of the Earth and life itself may be found.